Hello everybody, welcome back to another video, welcome back to my channel. Hopefully you guys are all having a wonderful day. Today's upload is going to be about the winter storm that will be occurring across the Midwest plains and maybe into northeast places like Michigan and Ohio. But this is going to be definitely a storm to remember. There are blizzard warnings, there are winter storm warnings, there are winter weather advisories, there are high wind warnings, it's everything you could possibly think of. There are gale watches for those that are on the seas and lakes. This is definitely something to remember. So if you like these type of videos, if you like these type of updates, consider clicking that subscribe button. Helps my channel grow. It is very helpful. So if you'd like to do that, if you'd like to support this channel, consider doing so. Thank you for that. Right now we're looking at the GFS model. The GFS has been doing an okay job, but it's not the best. Definitely not the best. And if we were to look at it right now, it's showing, which most models, this is where it is. The storm is in Colorado, and many of the snow locations, or many of the locations where the snow is falling, is Wyoming, Montana, Idaho, Nevada, Utah. All these states are getting slammed by this snow. This moves out into the Midwest. It continues strengthening. You can see very, very, very heavy snow with this in portions of northeastern Kansas, southeastern Nebraska, southern Iowa, northern Missouri, and into northern Illinois. It seems as if now the quarter of heaviest snow, since my last video, the axis of heaviest snow has shifted down to the south. So cities like Chicago may be seeing up to a foot of snow, if not more. If you live on the northwest side, you have a more likely chance of seeing the heavier snow. If you live towards the southern Cook County into northwest Indiana, then you most likely will see 1 to 3 inches. So unfortunately, that's how it's going to look like. You can see this is a fairly quick mover, but snowfall rates are going to be insane. 1 to 2, even possibly 3 to 4 inches of snow per hour. It's going to be ridiculous snowfall rates. I don't remember seeing this high snowfall rates since a couple of years back, so this will definitely be something to keep an eye on for. The GFS, in terms of snowfall amounts, let's go to total snowfall, is looking at, again, the axis of heaviest snow just north of Chicago, a little bit in the northwest suburbs. So, again, heavy snow for areas north of Kansas City, south of Des Moines, around the Rockford area, Milwaukee, Madison, not necessarily getting into this. And at this point, Milwaukee, if you live in Milwaukee, it seems like the heaviest snow will be just to the south of you, because the models are continuously shifting the snow further and further to the south. So if you live on this northern borderline, I would not be really expecting for this storm to shift back up into the north. You'd be like, oh, maybe we could get 13 inches because right now we're right on the border. I would expect this, in fact, to move further and further to the south. So, in fact, I would say Chicago, southern Chicago sections might be south side Chicago might actually be getting somewhere 6 to 12 inches of snow if this continues shifting. And because the European model, I'll show you in just a minute, it's going bonkers with this snow. So let's go back to let's go to the NAM. So the NAM model, you could see, has it a little bit further to the south. Definitely the snowfall amounts are going to be fairly high, 16, 15 inches of snow, very, very high snowfall amounts. Let's go to MSLP, rain/frozen, and let's play this out one by one. The NAM model has done a better job than the GFS so far, and so has the European model done a better job than the NAM and the GFS. So I'll show you the European last, but right now we are looking at the NAM. The NAM brings the heavy snow into Nebraska, Kansas, expecting 3 to 5 inches across most of these areas. The brunt of the heaviest snow will fall in this quarter in southeastern Iowa, northern Missouri, and northern Illinois. So we go on further. This is the question with Illinois and Chicago. If you live in the Chicago area, in these woods, then whether this snow transitions in the morning or in the afternoon, that's all what it's going to depend on. If it transitions in the afternoon, we could be looking at maybe 3 to 5, possibly 6 inches. If it transitions earlier than expected, we could be seeing up to 12 to 15 inches of snow easily. So that's the thing, because this snow will be falling so quickly, so heavily, that a couple hours of difference means couple inches, if not a foot of snow and difference of accumulation. So let's look at this right now. We're seeing maybe some snow, some ice with this, but the brunt, according to the NAM, of the snow transition should be somewhere around which in my opinion is way too late. And NAM I think is completely off by this. It's showing 7, 8 o'clock in the afternoon Sunday, which in my opinion is just ridiculous. And it has it continuing all the way to 7 o'clock in the morning, which is just not going to happen. The timing on this is off with the NAM. That's why I think the rain, snow mixture that they're having is just not going to happen. I mean, it will obviously happen in certain locations, but I don't think it will be as stubborn as it's showing there right now. So again, I showed you the total snowfall accumulations, very, very high. This is going to be definitely an event to remember. Now let's go to the HRRR model. The HRRR model only goes out to 18 hours, but every 6 hours it does release a forecast that goes out to 36 hours, and you can see that it does have the axis of heaviest snow a little bit further to the north of Chicago, but let's go to the total rain/frozen. You can see that's not even starting in areas like Chicago. So, will this mean that the HRRR model is showing a little bit further to the north? I don't think so. I think the HRRR model is just showing a little bit more in general over a larger area. So the HRRR model is showing that these areas would be seeing around 8 to 12 inches because it goes out to 32 hours. And as you could see right now, Chicago, northern Illinois is in the brunt, in the hardest hit, or in the heaviest snow areas. And it's not even getting started, and total snowfall is still only showing 2 inches, which I think this could be in the pinks and purples and even in the greens after this is done. So let's quickly go back now to the National Weather Service. Actually, I'd like to show you windy.com. Let's go to windy.com. I'd like to show you this, the European model. This is where I get my European model off of, and the European model has by far been the best with this one. I'm not saying because this one has the highest quarter of snow over my area. It just has been the best with this system. It's showing, again, 14, 15 inches and excess of heaviest snow from Rockford all the way to Gary, Indiana, all the way from Davenport to almost Bloomington, Illinois, and then into Missouri from about Maryville all the way to I think that is Carlton. Let's zoom in on that. Yeah, no, that's not Carlton. That's like Chiclotte. I don't know how to pronounce that. But anywhere from Maryville to the city right here. That's probably where the heaviest quarter is. In northeast Kansas seems the heaviest. But don't ignore this if you live in these, in this area. Nebraska, North Platte will still be seeing fairly good amounts of snow. 4, 5, 6 inches is still possible. But again, the quarter of heaviest snowfall will be right in northern Illinois, where 13, 14 inches is possible. Let's look at the National Weather Service map of advisories and warnings and watches and everything in between. So let's click on an area with the blizzard watches. So let's click on northern Missouri, and let's see the situation report, which they updated a couple hours ago, or actually I think just an hour ago. And it has, at this point, blizzard warnings in the northern section part of Kansas City metro. Periods of, again, a half an inch to an inch of snow an hour, and it will get higher and stronger as we move on to the northeast. The snow accumulation is 4 to 9 inches. And you can see blowing, drifting snow will definitely be a possibility. I don't know if they don't have the total snowfall map for these areas. Should be somewhere in here, but I can't seem to find it. So let's just go to a different location like northern Illinois, say where I live. There's a winter storm warning for many locations. Let's click on this, which is their latest situation update. You can see that, look at this. So 8 to 12 inches across many areas, but the thing is, guys, look, O'Hare, which is right where I live, is 8 to 12 inches. Chicago, maybe 20, 30-minute drive, 3 to 4 inches. This is how tight the gradient may be. So this has been shifting further to the south, but this just goes to show you that the snow may be ridiculously heavy over these areas, while the southern portion of the metro may be just getting 4 to 6, 3 to 4 inches, which, don't get me wrong, is still a lot, but not much compared to the 8 to 12 inches that are going to be seeing in the western suburbs like DeKalb, Elgin, Woodstock, Waukegan, and O'Hare, which is technically where the measuring site of Chicago is. Used to be at Midway, but now it's at O'Hare. So very, very, very significant winter storm. Nevertheless, this is going to be a massive banger for many locations. This is going to be a storm to remember. So this is definitely something we'll need to keep an eye on for. I probably won't be making another video about this unless I decide to make one tonight in the evening or tomorrow in the morning. This is probably going to be the last one, but hopefully you enjoyed, and I don't know if there's much to enjoy about this. I could actually quickly show you the cold temperatures that will be occurring right now. I was going to show you that. Let's go to GFS. The GFS model has been doing a fairly poor job with the temperatures. Actually, this is the newest model run that's going in. So let's see the total snowfall with the newest model run. Okay, it has it, I think, very similar to the location where it had it before. This is just the newest model run. So you see, you're getting live updates on my YouTube channel. So again, still that very fine line, right, splitting the Chicago metro into two areas. So the GFS again hasn't been doing the best job, but we will need to wait and see what it does. Let's go back to the old run. Let's go to 12Z. Let's go to regions, and let's go to Con US. Let's click on 2-meter temperature anomalies, and after this storm system, this is when it's going to be occurring. We see a cool blast of air coming into the United States, at least the eastern part of the United States. Sticks around for maybe up to next week into the weekend, but then we could start seeing some warmer temperatures according to the GFS. But again, the GFS hasn't been doing a good job at all with these temperatures, so we could just be seeing some cooler and colder temperatures with this. But definitely a pattern change maybe under the way in terms of flipping this from warmer east to a colder west, to the colder east and more central part of the country. So hopefully you enjoyed, hopefully you learned something new, and I'll catch you all guys in the next episode. See ya. Bye.